Welcome to G3 Investors. This is Greg Gallagher, and this is part one of dusting off my short-term trading technique with trading with the SQQs. Okay, the last 2 weeks we've been talking about this parabolic move up in the market, especially in the technology sector. Here we have the NASDAQ 100 Trust Series, and you can see this move up, and then we had two down days in this pullback that we had on Thursday and Friday. So what do you do when you have something like that? And everybody was expecting this pullback. We knew it was going to happen. We didn't know when, but it happened. So what I do is I always go from a longer term, that's the year to date, to that's a 5-day chart, 15-minute look. And this is what happened. And when that happened on higher volume than any other time period here, I started looking and thinking short. So the first thing I did, in the first half hour to 45 minutes, I exited all of our long positions. And then you could see this steady drop, and this is a 5-minute chart here that we trade off of. So let's go to the SQs. Okay, so again, we're looking at 5 days here, and so when we had this move here, and then we bounced up, and again, look at this volume being higher. Now this is a 5-day chart, so let's go to a 2-day so we can look closer at this. And I think what we did, we got in at 20.75, okay, and on this bar right here. That bar right there, when we crossed over here, and so we picked up 800 shares, I think it was, and then we traded it up and got stopped out at 21.75 for a $800 gain on the day, and that didn't take long. By before noon we were out of our position, and then for the rest of the day we just traded basically sideways. So I don't know, we might have picked a trade up and made a little bit of money or lost a little bit of money in here, but it was insignificant. That's the move that we made. And to explain the setup that I have here, I'm going to hide the volume chart here for a minute. We use the moving average convergence divergence indicator, the MACD, and the parameters that we set on it is 6 is this red line here on the MACD. That's a 6 period. So because this is a 5-minute, the frequency on this chart is 5 minutes, so it's 6 times 5 or 30 minutes, and this blue line moves every 30 minutes. The red line is the 20 period, which in here it's green. I always use the red solid line as the 20 simple moving average. And then the histogram on our MACD is set. That's these blue up and down is set at 10. So that's just the difference between these two. So you can see this is the strength. The histogram just points out the difference between the two lines, the green dotted line and the red dotted line. And so what we do is when it gets above the red line and it's here, and as I said, we've got a market that's looks like it's topped out and going to pull back, then I start to trade short. And I trade with the SQs. I use others, but the NASDAQ has been the leader of this market over the last few months, and so it's going to be the leader when it pulls back, and that's exactly what happened. So we got in here, then when it came back and we crossed back down over the line, okay, and we got out when it hit that red bar. So that's a look at what we do and how we do it. As I said, this is part one. I don't want to make the video too long. but I do want to go over a couple other things. I've been talking about this S&P 500 megaphone chart that we're in. And so we've got this little pullback here. So now are we going to go down here or are we going to go here? Nobody knows, but I'm betting we're going to go here. I think until this election is settled one way or the other, we're not going to move too much. We might pull back down to this area before we go higher. I definitely think we're headed to 3,600 before we finally roll over and go down there. Real quickly, I want to look at the heat map of the S&P 500 for the week. This is the 1 week, last week. Looking at that, and you can see what, there we go. Technology, Microsoft, NASDAQ, Salesforce.com, Google, Facebook. We did have the financials, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal. Excuse me. All contributed to the big drop in the indexes for the week. Okay, a little bit of advertising here before I go. Here's our trading results through September 8th, 2020, sorry. We're up 78% and we're 100% in cash. You don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and you can become a Patreon. Costs about $20 a month. You get all these, plus my daily comments, setups that I see daily, comments on the market throughout the day, and you'll make some money. Okay, this is Greg Gallagher with G3 Investors saying good trading and good luck.